Shalom, everybody. Insights in the Parsha of the week, Parshat Emor, which is very rich. The beginning of the Parsha talks about all the laws of the Kohanim and the animals and the purification, the purity, and the level, the status of not having blemishes to be more complete. And then the Parsha goes into the festivals, B'ezrat Hashem. One of the festivals that, of course, sticks out is Sukkot. Just the verse reads. Let's take a look at the verse. The verse from the Parsha of Sukkot that we're going to go into is regarding taking the Arba Minim, the four species, on Sukkot. The verse reads, this is chapter 23, Per Kaf Gimel, verse 40, Parshat Emor. Ulkachtem lachem bayom harishon, and you should take from yourselves. In other words, it should not be borrowed. It has to be from your acquisition. You paid for it, or it's yours. On the first day of Sukkot, Pri Etz Hadar, a fruit from a tree which is called Hadar. It translates literally as a citrus, but it's not a citrus. An etrog is a special type of citrus fruit. Hadar, that it dwells on the tree from year to year. You can leave the fruit unplucked, the etrog unplucked, and it won't go rotten. It'll stay on the tree. That's why it's called Etz Hadar, that it can stay on the tree from year to year. Kapot Tmarim. Kapot is like a branch of the palm branch from the date tree. Not the actual fruit, but the kapot, the actual palm branch from the tamarim, the date tree, the palm. V'anaf etz avot, and little branches of hadassim. Etz avot means a wood, a branch that has like chains, avot. It's like one connected to the next, which is like how the hadassim look. They look one on top of the next, so it looks like a chain in a sense. V'arvei nachal, and the willow branches which grow along the river. That's aravot, okay? And then it says, Usmachtem livnei Hashem Elokechem shivat yamim, and you will rejoice before your God, your Lord, 7 days. Okay? So the Pshat is making us understand, or giving us the impression, that through this mitzvah of taking the Arba Minim on the first day, you will be happy before God, your Lord, 7 days. So the question is, one second, isn't there a mitzvah to be happy the whole year? It's making it sound like you'll be happy these 7 days, meaning what? And other days, no? The rest of the 365 days of the year minus these 7 days. No, I'm not supposed to be happy? He's saying, and you should be happy these days. What do you mean you should be happy these days? I should be happy every day. What are you telling me now? And you'll be rejoice on these days. Are you making it sound like on other days? No. So the Ramban brings down and the commentaries explain in the Gemara that the simcha here is what's called simcha yetera, additional joy. All year round, yes, you have to be happy. That's like Rabbi Nachman's famous saying, mitzvah gedola liot b'simcha tamid. It's a big mitzvah to always be happy. Always is not just on Sukkot, it's 365 days of the year. Okay? So there is an idea, a concept, a devotion to be happy all year round. You can't serve Hashem if you're not happy. And again, the punishments in Parshat Kitavo, 98 curses, Parshat Kitavo. And why? It says there in the middle of the curses, all this will befall you. Tachat asher lo avadat Hashem Elokecha besimcha v'tuv levav. All this will come to you because you didn't serve Hashem with joy. The Torah is saying that. It's not a chasedish word. It's from the Torah. Because you're not serving Hashem besimcha, you eventually fall off and get punished because you weren't besimcha in serving Hashem. So we see there's an inyan, there's a thing to be happy all year round. The qualification, if you want to say, of what it's saying in the verse here, and you'll be and usmachtem lifnei Hashem Elokechem shivatim, and you'll rejoice before your God, which is the temple, the Beit Hamikdash, before your Lord is in front of him at the temple. Your Lord, 7 days. That's additional simcha. So let's look into this. What's going on here? You know, all year round I have a mitzvah to be happy, and the Torah is saying you'll be happy 7 days, and it seems that the extension of being happy 7 days is because you took on the first day the four species. So you should know, Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai, he administered, he established, that's the good word, that since the Beit HaMikdash is destroyed, we no longer take the four species only on the first day of Sukkot, which is the requirement from the Torah. The first day of Sukkot is called Mitzvah D'Oraita. Till today, it's a Torah enactment that every Jew take the lulav on and the four species on the first day of Sukkot. Afterwards, it's what's called Derabanan. That's from Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai, who established that after the destruction of the temple, we do all 7 days the lulav. But in the time of the Beit HaMikdash, it was on the first day. And the verse is telling us that because of the 4 species that you take on the first day, this will lead to the second part of the verse. Usmachtem lifnei Hashem Elokechem. You take ulkachtem on the first day. You take these 4, and as a result, you will be happy before your Lord God, your Lord, 7 days. In other words, it's the cause of the effect of simcha for the next 7 days. So what's going on here? What's so special about the 4 species that they lead to this simcha of the 7 days? And like we explained, the simcha of the 7 days is simcha yetera, additional joy. You would ask, just before we go on to explain the 4 species, why would you need additional joy on these days? You're going to need it. You're going to need additional joy activated at the beginning of the year of the actual year from Rosh Hashanah. Sukkot is in the beginning of the year. You're going to need from those 7 days of Sukkot additional joy to spread out and be with you for the entire year. So that no matter what you go through, the ups and downs, you have the additional simcha activated from Sukkot. So whenever you're in a situation where you need a boost of simcha, it can be used from the reservoir, the reserve that you have of the simcha of these 7 days. The simcha yetera, the additional simcha of the 7 days of Sukkot, can be spread out on the rest of the year. So now the thing is, what's so special about these 4 species? These arba minim refer to 4 types of mitzvot that you do the entire year. Okay? There are mitzvot that you do properly, and you do them besimcha. There are mitzvot which you do properly and without simcha. There are mitzvot that you do with simcha, but not so properly. And there's mitzvot that you do not properly and not besimcha. The thing is, all 4 are mitzvot. Even if you didn't do a mitzvah properly, there's room in the mitzvah that it's still a point. There's a nekuda, like Rabbi Nachman says in his lesson Azamra. There's a good point in your mitzvah. Even if it's a really low, dead mitzvah, still there's some point of good in it. You know, in everything. Even a person, God forbid, who's doing a mitzvah and he's totally off, we can still say that his intention in the mitzvah is a good point. He had a good intent. Okay, he did it wrong. And he knows that he recognized it wrong, so next time he won't do it wrong. But he has a good point that he wants to do a mitzvah. Okay? I did something wrong, but I have a good intent. It's like, to give an analogy, the Baal Shem Tov said about a certain woman, the Baal Shem Tov had in his time also major opposition. And there was a scenario of a woman who was from the opposition of the Baal Shem Tov. She saw the Baal Shem Tov passing by, and she wanted to lift up a rock and throw it at him. But the rock was too heavy for her to lift up. So she tried to lift it up, she couldn't. She said, Ribbono Shel Olam, Master Hashem, let it be considered as if I threw the stone on him. So the Baal Shem Tov, when he heard this, he said, you can't imagine how much delight in heaven they got from her prayer. Even though there was something wrong, to throw the stone at the Baal Shem Tov, you can be killed for that, God forbid. But because her intent was for the sake of heaven, she had a good intent, so the Baal Shem Tov said that her intent is considered good. So too you have people who do mitzvot which are totally dead, and yet there is a good point hidden within it. Even though we don't try to teach people, okay, continue like that, there's room to grow, and a person must grow, and he has to realize that he has to eventually change, but there's a good point. So now, the 4 species correspond to these 4 types of mitzvot. The etrog is a nice, beautiful, has a complete physical appearance, and also it smells and tastes nice. The etrog is like the mitzvot that you do properly and you do it besimcha. Okay? The lulav are mitzvot that you do properly, but there's no taste. There's no simcha in it. It's not a tasty mitzvah. It's a dry mitzvah. Okay? Like Rav Nosson once said, no, I'm not going to go into this, or I should. Okay. Rav Nosson once said that it's not relevant, so we'll skip that. I'll say it. Okay, Rav Nosson once said the difference between the misnagdim and the chasidim is like the difference between a warm knish and a cold knish. They're both the same food, but one tastes better. So he said by the Hasidim, by Chasidut, when you do mitzvot with Chasidut in hands, it gives taste and flavor and joy into the mitzvah performance, as opposed to the Misnagdim, who were just after doing medakdek, doing the mitzvot properly, boom, 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 but very sad. They're just worried about doing it right, and there's no happiness in it. There's no simcha involved in it. It's like the story I think we told of the Berdichever, Rabbi Yitzchak Berdichev, that he was, for Pesach, he was very, very makpid to get super duper carefully done matzot for the night of the Seder, with all the hidurim, all the stringencies, everything done mehadrin, okay? And once the Berdichever came back with his matzot from the matzah bakery, on his way home to get ready for the Chag, and he saw another simple Jew who also purchased simple matzot, and the Jew was like kissing the matzot, the package of the matzot, and dancing with him. And the Berdichever went up to him, he said, I want to make a deal with you. He said, what? The Berdichever wants to make a deal with me? He said, yes. Are you going to exchange matzos? You take mine and I take yours? He said, what? The matzos of the Berdichever? For sure, besimcha. So he exchanged the matzot, okay? And the Berdichever took the simple Jew's matzot. His students were flipping out. He said, Rabbeinu, you worked so hard to finally get these matzot, and you just give them away to a simple Jew, a simpleton? He said, the Berdichever, the simcha that he had in his mitzvot, show that these mitzvot, these matzot, must be extremely kosher and done in the most proper way. If he's so happy about them, that reflects on the quality of these matzot. That's why I rather have these matzot with such simcha given into them than mine, which didn't have as much simcha. Okay? So going back, the idea of a palm tree, someone who's dry in his mitzvah performance, he does the mitzvah properly, over all the stringencies, triple A, everything done perfectly, but there's no simcha, there's no taste, okay? Then you have the hadassim, which is someone who's very happy in his mitzvah performance, but he doesn't do it properly. He's doing it a bit wrong, but still he's happy about it. He's doing it the wrong way, and he's not doing it the proper way. It's not like perfect, but the simcha is even greater than the mitzvah itself that he's doing. And then you have the arava, which unfortunately is a person who's like Tisha B'Av, he's very sad in his mitzvah performance. There's no simcha, and also in how he's doing it, it's like very heavy. He doesn't wake up on time for davening. Everything is slow and heavy. He's doing the mitzvah, but not properly. Okay, so all four correspond to the four types of mitzvah performance during the entire year, and the Torah is saying you take them all together. You join them. You have etrog on Sukkot. The mitzvah is not done perfectly unless you join with it the arava. Okay, you can have the etrog and the lulav and the hadas. If you don't have the arava, which represents the dead mitzvah that you did during the year, during the preceding year, okay, if you don't join them, there's no mitzvah here. The four species have to be all four. Period. Okay, you do the mitzvah properly with all four. You don't, again, if a person is anus, a person stuck in an island, all he has an etrog, what do you want? That's all he has. But he can't say the bracha and these halachot. It's not perfect. The bracha is done with all four, nothing less. You need one etrog, you need the lulav, you need the three hadassim, two aravot. You're missing the aravot, which are like, what's the aravot? There's no bracha. I need those mitzvot that are dead, I need them. So now what happens is, the Torah is saying, you take ulkachtem, you take all four types of mitzvot. Those ones which were perfect, like the etrog. Those that were half-half, they were done properly but no joy. Those that were done with happiness but not properly. And those that are done with no joy and not properly, you take them all together. And the pasuk is saying, usmachtem, and this will bring the simcha yetera, the addition of simcha. Right? First of all, usmachtem b'fnei Hashem Elokechem shivat yamim. 7 days. What's activated? Extra simcha. Why do I need that extra simcha? You're going to need it for the whole year. Because the whole year you have your ups and downs, your roller coasters and up and down. And there are days when you're out of it and this and that. How could you subconsciously or even consciously wake up simcha from the mitzvah of the Arba Minim? That I took all four, and the Torah teaches all four count. All four of them count. Even the dead mitzvah, the sad mitzvah that you did, the aravot, they count. They're part of the picture. Okay, it's a mitzvah. It can't be right. It wasn't done properly. There's no simcha. Like it doesn't count. No, don't listen. Don't listen to the Yetzara. It counts. Okay? And this activates the simcha for the 7 days. Why 7 days? Why not 8 days? Why not 9 days? Why not 10 days? 7 days, so that every day of the week is channeled with this energy of the simcha from the first day. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Shabbat. No matter what you will go through during the upcoming year, any day of the week, it's a bad day. I woke up on the wrong side of bed. No excuses. The simcha of the Arba Minim that you did on Sukkot is to bring simcha for the rest of the year. Simcha yetera. We should be zocher to activate this simcha retroactively. And Vayita Ach Sameach, we should only be happy. That's another verse from another parsha of Sukkot, from another different parsha. We should be zocher to be happy all year round, and we have what to be happy about. Even our dead mitzvot, Hashem considers them as of precious value. Shabbat Shalom.